The Battlefield 2042 beta this weekend left us with a lot to talk about. Some expectations were met, some concerns were legitimized, new concerns rose to the top of the discussion boards, but the spirit of Battlefield was truly honored in a lot of the combat scenarios that began to unfold. Hello everyone, I'm True Vanguard, and thanks for stopping by the channel today. Let's start unpacking what we've seen and experienced so far with Battlefield 2042. So let's hit the basics of what the Battlefield 2042 beta has to offer. Essentially, we're getting a very small look at the game as we're only able to play one specific game mode on one specific map. We can't see or unlock more weapons than we're given, and the game experience is severely limited without in-game features like team comms and ping systems to effectively communicate. As it stands, there's no way to even pull up the map while you're alive and running around, nor is there any way to customize attachments to your weapons while you're dead. So you'll need to spawn in and find a safe place to bunker down while you tinker with your guns using the plus system. But the beta does let you have access to a lot of what makes Battlefield Battlefield, like jets and attack choppers, tanks, lots of personal tools for dealing with various threats like rocket launchers, C4, medical equipment, and even a grappling hook to get the high ground over an ongoing battle. But let's talk for a minute about some of the biggest issues with the beta. There's a lot here to be genuinely concerned about. One of the things you'll notice pretty quickly is the instability of the game. You're going to encounter a lot of screen tearing and these white flashes while you're in the middle of a gunfight that are extremely jarring and hard on the eyes. God forbid you play this beta and you're prone to seizures. Well, I mean, if you're prone to seizures, you're probably not interested in Battlefield to begin with. But if you were perfectly healthy before playing, you may be prone to seizures now. These seem to happen during every match and without warning. It's not uncommon, it's actually a regular nuisance, and it does not even matter what the specs are on your device, whether you're playing on a next-gen console, or I have a top-of-the-line brand new PC running a 3090, and it still happens. It still happens. You'll encounter other bugs, like people appearing in places that they clearly are not. Sometimes you'll just see a soldier standing there and you'll give your position away shooting at him, but he doesn't actually exist. Other times you'll see people running in the sky. One of my favorite bugs in the game is one that happens regularly. It's a bug where the game won't actually take away the player's parachute after they hit the ground. It's hilarious seeing this giant parachute give away a player's every movement while they're trying to be stealthy on their approach to a point of interest. Other issues exist and are widely reported on the forums, like hit registration issues, crossplay seemingly being way off in its ratios of console players to PC players in favor of the latter, the plus system simply not working as intended, and sometimes equipping one attachment changes all the other attachments, and it's like this infuriating puzzle game. Vehicle animation bugs, there's much more. All around, the beta is extremely unstable and riddled with glitches and bugs that are now a guarantee for every match that you play. That's the bad news, but it's not the only news. The good news is that the beta most definitely has delivered on a lot of what makes Battlefield unique. I had, an awesome 57 kill game without using a single vehicle, just raw boots on the ground running and gunning up in the hills, but that wasn't my favorite match. In fact, there isn't a single match that I can really recall too vividly. Battlefield is about delivering an experience with limitless possibilities, leading to what we lovingly call Battlefield moments. Battlefield moments could be anything from running over a player in an eco-friendly futuristic pickup, or finding snipers laying down in the mountains and laying C4 on their backs. Or placing a C4 trap on a common doorway and waiting for the right moment to blow it up. Or maybe it's base jumping off a skyscraper and into an active gunfight. Or watching a tornado suck up vehicles and players. Battlefield has always been about creating chaotic and large-scale battle scenarios where you have near limitless options for approaching the problems that you encounter. It's up to you to figure out what you want to try, what risks you want to take, and what moments you want to intentionally create. But as far as the beta goes, what are the main takeaways? I think the biggest takeaways from this weekend are that the game has a lot of work ahead of it in order to be stable and reliable. I really hope that the beta build is really old, and many of these issues have already been addressed, as is often the case. Usually when you're playing a beta, you're playing a build that's like 6 months old, sometimes even older than that. A lot can happen in that amount of time when it comes to ironing out bugs and stability issues. Another major concern is the accessibility of the game. The beta is clunky and largely unintuitive, leaving players to crowdsource answers to major questions or figure it out on their own. Hopefully on the full launch we see a game that delivers information in a clear way to the players so that they know how to get off the ground and up and running seamlessly. Another takeaway is that the community does not seem to be sold on the new specialist system. One of the best things about previous Battlefield titles is that when you saw another player, you could tell immediately whose team they were on and what potential weapons and equipment you should expect to encounter from them. That's all gone now. Every enemy is a huge question mark. It was bizarre having a man in a ghillie suit run up to me with chest paddles and revive me and then immediately swap to an assault rifle and start shooting the enemy that downed me. Personally, I'm not crazy about the new system, but I'm still willing to give it a chance to wow me with it, you know? The beta did not do that, however, and it left me feeling like my initial concerns about the system were completely valid. But on a positive note, a lot of what I experienced with this beta did feel like coming home, you know? It felt like what I originally loved about Battlefield. It's a genuine, all-out warfare experience with fun and chaotic moments that serve as the punctuation mark to frame the whole ordeal. You'll likely forget much of what happened in your 20-minute match, but you'll remember that one time that you rained C4 down from the sky as you parachuted in and completely demolished a vehicle below that had no idea you were up there. It's these Battlefield moments that give this game a fighting chance this year to pull in some major numbers and get a ton of gamers on board with the new era of Battlefield. Personally, I can't wait for the full release to see where we go from here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like on it, as that's the best way to freely support creators over here on YouTube. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.